Yo, what's good? It's your boy, Stephen Ramon, Unscripted Wrestling Media. Bring you something a little bit different from a little different format anyway. At Church Car Wash. So, alright, let's talk about CM Punk, right? There's been a whole lot of shit chat on the internet, the interwebs, whatever you want to call them, about the whole thing with CM Punk lately. So, here's my 2 cents on this, man. It's a different promotion, but the same old Punk. This ain't the first time that we've seen CM Punk throw a hissy fit because he's not getting his way. You know what I mean? And it's a little bit old, man. Like when CM Punk first decided that he was going to come back to AEW, everybody was going crazy or whatever. Me personally, I was like, it's not that big of a deal to me, bro. Like, being for real. And honestly, I'm going to tell you why. CM Punk, I'm going to get killed on this and I do not care. CM Punk is overrated. In my humble opinion, he's overrated. What is so impressive about CM Punk? What? His size? He's not the first small guy that we've seen in professional wrestling to revolutionize, quote-unquote, sport. We're not going to sit here and act like Shawn Michaels didn't exist, or Bret Hart didn't exist, or Dean Malenko didn't exist. Young Chris Jericho didn't exist. All of these guys were small. Even Eddie Guerrero, for the size he was considered a small guy. So we're not going to sit here and act like CM Punk is just so revolutionary in the world of wrestling because of his size and his stature. Like, no. So apparently CM Punk is getting a lot of backstage heat, whatever, threatening to walk out. What else is new? It's CM Punk. He's selfish. All right? He's selfish. He's an average performer at best. His promos are nice, but he does nothing revolutionary in the ring. Not to me, he doesn't. If you can think of something that CM Punk does in the ring that's revolutionary, put it down in the comments. If not, then welcome to this side of the argument. It's not the popular opinion, but it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? So now you're in the situation where Tony Khan got CM Punk. He's the AEW champion. Apparently he refused to do the job for Hangman. For somebody that claimed to have so many issues with WWE and the self-booking and the self-promoting, like my guy, you're doing the same thing. All right? And if you're a CM Punk fan and you're watching this, if your feelings are hurt, they just hurt. I don't care. Be salty, be soft. You know, CM Punk sucks. As a performer, he's basic. As an individual, he sucks. He did this whole big thing about how he was coming back to pro wrestling to help the young guys and all this other stuff. And what has he done? His first match, he put down Darby Allin. You're supposed to be helping guys get over, but you put down Darby Allin. You see what I'm saying? Like, no. That's honestly why CM Punk being in AEW for me has not even been that big of a deal, because you're not making no impact as far as I'm concerned. And the promo that he cut this week on Dynamite about him being the dollars and cents of the company, that's all he cares about. It's dollars and cents. That was true. That was true. That's all he cares about. It's the dollars and the cents. If it's not for that, he don't care. And that's just the truth of the matter. You know what I mean? So now you got the reports of MJF set to make his return. And I think this timing is a little bit ironic, okay? And here's why I say this. In my opinion, Tony Khan is in panic mode right now. With the new regime change at WWE, a lot of talent has voiced their concern, not their concerns, but a lot of talent have voiced their loyalty to Triple H. And the problem is that some of this talent that has voiced their loyalty are under AEW contracts. Since the inception of AEW, we have never seen any kind of rumors, or not rumors, we've never seen any kind of information in regards to actual contract length, like how long someone's going to be under contract for. We haven't seen it. And then I find it a little bit odd that maybe 2 weeks after everything goes down, you get Tony Khan with this interview saying that he has this guy under a 5-year deal, this guy under a 6-year deal, this guy to 2026, this guy just resigned. Sir, if you understand business, you're going out and now you're putting this information out so you can go ahead and just clear the air like, hey, ain't nobody jumping ship from AEW to WWE anytime soon. Because you already know that you got a lot of guys on your roster that would love to go back. Adam Cole, Malachi Black, probably Miro. That's just a few that I can think of. Bobby Fish, that's just a few of the names that I can think of off the top of my head that would definitely probably love to go back to WWE right now. So now you got Tony Khan in this situation where from a promoting standpoint, you're scared because you've been booking your company like a fan and not a promoter. And a lot of fans have enjoyed that, myself included, with some of the things that we've gotten to see. But one problem that I've had with Tony Khan in the booking of AEW is simply AEW, or at least Tony Khan, seems to book particularly geared to the independent scene. And I'm not knocking independent promotions or the independent scene, because we have a lot of good talent that comes from that scene. The problem is you're bringing these guys in, but you have a portion of your audience that knows who they are, and then you have another portion that has no clue. Butcher and the Blade debut, for example. When they came out, the crowd was silent because we're trying to figure out, like, who was that? And then, you hop online and you see a couple of different, guys, blogs, Reddits, Facebooks, whatever you want to call it. And they're hyped, they're excited because they know who they are. But meanwhile, I'm lost. And because they don't look appealing, I don't know really anything about them, I'm not about to sit here to take the time to go see who they are. But that's the problem with Tony Khan in the booking. Even the whole Forbidden Door thing, it was big, it was a success, but I don't think it got the buzz that maybe he thought it was going to get, because it was heavy around New Japan Pro Wrestling. And I know myself, I'm not big on New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's just for me to try to sit there and watch it. One, I'm in the US, I'm Eastern time zone, so that's me. I know a lot of guys, they out there, they love it, they go on YouTube, they watch the matches. That's them, that's cool, that's whatever. Not me, okay? So a lot of those guys, I didn't know who they were. Some of those guys I was very impressed with when I actually did see them wrestle, but at the same time, again, I didn't know who a lot of those guys were. So now that's the problem that Tony Khan has ran into. Your fan mentality when it comes to booking is kind of putting you in a situation where you're kind of stuck. So now you got MJF, and a lot of people said it was a work shoot. I don't think it was a work shoot. I think the situation with MJF was actually legit. And if I'm right, here's what I'm going to go out on a limb and say. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that the reason MJF is back is because Tony Khan has probably conceded to the demand of MJF and paid him more money in order to keep him there. Now, if that's the case, then Tony Khan has set a very dangerous precedent for himself, and now you're on the verge of being WCW Part 2, where you're giving the talent too much control and you're giving out too many contracts. You can sit there and brag all day about how you're selling out shows quicker than anybody, but at the end of the day, you cannot go dollar for dollar with the WWE. The reason being is because WWE has a massive, massive stockpile of funds. And Tony Khan, your funds, or his funds, I'm talking like I'm talking to him. His funds are based from primarily his capital, his personal capital, his personal worth. You don't want to play big bank versus little bank with WWE. This is a company that has been around for decades, publicly traded. They just made $1 billion last quarter. They just sold out over 100,000 tickets in 24 hours to SoFi Stadium. AEW is not messing with that no. Miss me with that. Alright? So, if Tony Khan has conceded and they gave MJF the money that MJF was pretty much holding Tony Khan ransom for, here's what I'm going to predict is going to go down. I'm going to predict that there's probably going to be a triple threat match down the road to unify the AEW championships. At which point, I'm also going to predict that MJF is going to win the AEW World title. Now, this leaves Punk as a wild card in this situation, because if he's really as disgruntled as everyone says, Tony Khan is in a situation where he has to appease Punk and alienate his locker room and waste money that he probably just gave MJF, or do what's best for business, put the belt on MJF, let him feud with Moxley, because we've seen MJF versus Punk. I'm just that kind of guy. Unless you're going to up the stakes a little bit, I'm really not too big on watching the same rivalries over and over and over again. All right? There's one thing about the Attitude Era. Yeah, we had Rock and Stone Cold on many different levels in many different variations, but I felt like they had a way to keep it fresh. And it's not just Rock and Stone Cold. You had Rock and not Rock and Austin the Undertaker. You know, you had Triple H and Triple H versus the world, pretty much. But you get the point. So that's what I'm gonna predict. All right. Now, from a business standpoint, you put the belt on MJF. I think he's ready. All right. For AEW, the guy's the heat magnet. You put the belt on MJF. Let me see MJF and Jon Moxley go to war over this title. What does that leave Punk? I don't know. Honestly, I wouldn't mind if it left him out of AEW. I'm just going to be real with you. But no one should be surprised at this situation at all. New promotion, same Punk. But my name has been Stephen Ramon. You've been watching the Scripted Wrestling Media. I got some more content I got to get cut up and posted for you. Hopefully I have it done here within the next week. Trying to get better, changing some stuff up, bringing in a new co-host on the show. You'll see some of our first videos that we shot last week or this past Monday night. You'll see some of that soon. But until then, be sure to like, share, subscribe. Let me know down in the comments what you think about what I just said. If you got a problem with it, if you agree with it. If not, let me know in the comments. If you don't like it, let me know in the comments. It don't even matter, bro. But until then, stay up. Peace out. I'll see y'all on the flip side.